Everyone's having a blessed morning. I am having a blessed morning. Yes, I am. Yes, I am. Thank the Lord that I'm having a blessed morning. Thank the Lord that He woke me up for another day. So basically, so I could add in to what I already have done. You know, yesterday and whatever I done yesterday. Hopefully, it can push me through today. Basically, so I can add in on what I do each and every day. Each and every day, meaning that you have to add on to what you did yesterday. If you forgot to do something yesterday, try to do it today, right? If you did something positive, try to add on, try to follow up with it today, right? So, you see the topic, never settle in for less. Now, um, this topic, or just saying, has a tricky, has a tricky practice, has a tricky practice to practice. Never settle in for less, right? We all know that in this world, less means poor, less means not having, less means not being in an algorithm, right? Not being an algorithm, not being amongst the elite, not being amongst those that have more, right? And what do it mean? Right? I was watching somebody content, and I was watching a short video of them. Right? Basically, they're saying that they're not settling for less. They're not settling for less. And now this is pertaining into a relationship that some people feel that they're not settling for less. They did that back in their teens. They did that back in their 20s. They did that back in their 30s. They did that back in their 40s, or whatever age that they feel. Now, this is geared towards relationship, right? And this is during this era. This is during this era, right? What happened is that when you don't settle for less and you settle for more, you may get garbage. You may get garbage and you may get trash. You don't know who you may end up with, right? If you're settling for more. Settling for more means that it's going to bring you great problems. It's going to bring you great hospital visits and everything else. If you have multiple partners, right, and if you're not settling for less, right, settling for less in the spiritual realm is greater than settling for more in the spiritual realm. We're talking about the spiritual realm here. Settling for less is much more greater than settling for more. Because when you settle for more, you have a bigger responsibility. And you can sort of say in the physical world too, the more you have, the more you accumulate, the greater is your responsibility. Like say I get a house, right? The more things that I accumulate in the house, the more I'm going to need to clean up more and more and more as I accumulate materialistic things. The lesser I have, the easier it will be. The easier it will be. You see, we was always taught not to settle for less. Why? Who came up with this teaching of not settling for less? Oh, when it comes to money, you're not going to settle for less. You want more and more and more. And what happens is that when you get more, you're going to have a more greater responsibility upon you. You're going to have a greater responsibility upon you. The more money you have, the more chaos, the more confusion, the more lawsuits, the more everybody's going to come after you once they know that you have money. And this is a fact. The more money that you have, the greater is your responsibility. The greater is your pain and suffering. And that goes with everything. That goes with everything in life. Right? So once you say that you're not settling for less and that you're settling for more, that means that what you're doing is that you are basically is putting a spell upon you once you keep saying that. Oh, I'm not settling for less. I'm not settling for less. I'm not settling for less. But settling for less keep you safe. Settling for less keep you protected. Settling for less keep you guided. Settling for less keep you what? Knowledgeable about things that if you have more, that will place you in confusion. That will place you in confusion. And I know that because I am a person that have. Everything that I have comes from the Alpha Omega. Every penny, every dollar, everything that's in my home is blessed. I got that from the Alpha Omega. Everything, all my clothes, everything I wear, I got it halal, meaning I got it feasible to the Alpha Omega with his pleasure and with his permission that I receive my needs and wants. I did not get it from robbing or stealing, right? And doing things for more. For more. Because when you have more, it gives you an addiction that you cannot control. You won't be looking at less. You'll be looking at more and more and more. And when you don't get more, you will look towards other avenues to please your hunger because you want more out of life. Not knowing less would mean less headaches, less problems, less diseases, less going back and forth to the hospital, the lesser that you have. It doesn't mean that you're poor. It doesn't mean that you're not rich. It just means that you understand the physically and spiritually avenue of it, of having less and having more. You see, the older that you get, you will start to become more wiser in your decisions and your choices. We all know that the more that you have, the greater responsibility is and the more problems it will bring upon you. It will bring upon you that because we are taught that less is homeless, less is poor, less is trash, less is garbage, you ain't going to have no motion and movement, which is a lie. Which is a lie. So I'm here to tell you that the lesser that you have, the greater your chances at life and being successful in this life and in the next is better than having more. The Creator always talk about that mankind chases for more, chases for more, chases for more. And we all do that. We all do that. At some particular time in our life, we all chase more because we know that based on this world, the more that you have, the more successful that you have in the eyes of mankind. This is an actually fact. And this is what's being taught amongst us, which is the wrong way to look at things. You see, the more knowledge that I have, the more knowledge that I have, the greater responsibility that I have to spread amongst all of the people. I cannot hold that in. I have to tell them the truth. And then I have to act on the truth. And then I'm going to be questioned by the knowledge and wisdom and understanding that I have. You see, with great knowledge and understanding and wisdom, you would understand that the lesser that you have, the less problems that you will have. It will become easy upon your life. So if you hear anybody say, listen, I'm not settling for less. I'm settling for more. And what more brings, it brings a thirst. It brings a fast life of your materialistic world. And then what happens is that your spirituality will become cloaked with this physical world because you are chasing more and more and more and more. And that's not what the Creator says in Scriptures that we supposed to embark on. That's not, we don't supposed to be jacking more. even though it's our choice to jack more, but it is better for us if we but knew if we jack settling for less. Settling for less. In both worlds, in the physical world and the spiritual world, if we only but knew. If you talk to so many people that's rich and so many people that went after this life of more and all of the dreams that they had, everything is accomplished, everything that all their goals and everything is met, right? They was better off having less than having more. Because the more that you have, now the headaches and the confusion, the waking up and everything at night is going to be upon you. So this is a jewel for you and me, is that having less is better. And having one person in your life is better than having multiple. That's why the Creator says in the Quran that you can marry 1, 2, 3, 4. You can marry 4 women. But he said one is better for you if you but knew. In his eyesight, he said one is better if you but knew. You can marry 4, but you won't be able to deal with it, because the more that you have, the greater responsibility that you have. The more partners that you have, and all of those personalities, all those things that you have to go through, you're going to become old before you become young. You're going to start having wrinkles. Everything about you is going to change in your life, because you are dealing with multiple people. You are dealing with more and more and more. That's just on a physical level, right? And a relationship level. But I just said spiritually that the Creator says less is better than more. In the spiritual realm, it is. In the spiritual realm, it is, because it protects you. It protects your spirituality. It protects you as a person. But if He loves you and He's vibing out with you, He said in the Quran that I will bless you in this life and in the next. Anything that you ask Him for, materialistically wise, He will bless you. And this is the truth. This is true. It's a fact. So this is part 1 that I wanted to share with you and tell you. This is the dopest channel on YouTube. I just want to let you know that. And your guys have an amazing, amazing day. And I appreciate that you rocking out with me. So now that you know that less is better than more, what are you going to do? What are you going to do? Because you don't realize it that right now. You don't have the knowledge, wisdom, understanding to comprehend what I just said. You don't. Basically, He's protecting you and trying you to get to the everlasting. The everlasting. So the less that you have that's in this world is better off for you. But I know and understand that ain't nobody going for less in this world. Everybody going for more. They not even going for balance. Yo, I'm balanced. I'm good. I don't need no more, yo. I don't need no more. The thirst for the human being of having more is out of control, because that's how we are. That's how we are. We want more. We're never satisfied. That's an actually true fact. If I'm satisfied, yes. I'm satisfied. Physically, mentally, yes. Physically and spiritually, yes, I'm satisfied. Is there room for improvement? Yes, of course. There's always room for improvement. There's always room for improvement to add on. But always remember, the more you add on, the more responsibility that you have with yourself. And that is your choice. So make the right moves, make the right decisions, and you should be okay. Peace, y'all. Peace.